The moment is here, you can stop your search. It's Comics by Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. Image Comics has officially left Diamond for Lunar, and this was telegraphed, pretty substantially. There were rumors that they were talking at what C2E2, and then, you knew this was coming. The crazy part about this, and I think there's a bunch of places where I'm just going to say, not "I told you so," because that's not exactly the right thing to say, but it's in that right zone. Look, Diamond the Diamond Distribution is in trouble as a company. This has been clear for a couple of years now. Their operations are old. The son has some good ideas, but the dad is not letting those ideas happen. You talk to anybody in comics, they'll tell you this in private. But the goofy thing is, there is this weird kind of insane desire to pretend that everything is still fine, and we're not going to admit any problems out in public. And look, if you're a member of Diamond, you have to be somewhat pissed at this move today, of course, because Image Comics, big company, leaving. But the other reason you have to be pissed is that Image Comics was giving very aggressive signs that everything was fine and Diamond was great and they were great partners. In fact, Dateline June 13th, 2020, Eric Stevenson, Image comic publisher, called DC Comics' move to cut ties with Diamond Distribution a, quote, sociopathic decision. It is a hasty, sociopathic decision made by people who do not care about the long-term welfare of our marketplace, let alone about comics, said Image comic publisher Eric Stevenson 3 years ago. 3 years ago. A little bit less than 3 years ago. Today, Image Comics, Eric Stevenson, announces that they are leaving Diamond for Lunar. Same exact thing that DC did. Have Image Comics suddenly become sociopaths? Well, maybe. But you knew this was going to happen. The writing was on the wall. Diamond was, again, it was a business that had not evolved, had not put the money in their business to modernize. In many cases, they had the ideas. They even had the funding in some cases to modernize. They didn't do it. And so you're sitting here and you're looking at this news today, and it's like, well, here we are. I don't know what what do you even do with this? But for several years, for 3 years, Image, and in particular, Eric Stevenson, would repeatedly say things like, Diamond's great. Diamond's doing well. I think their business is really strong. The comeback is bigger than the setback. It was not. Somebody sent a mail saying, so Perch, was the comeback bigger than the setback? No, it was not. The setback was bigger. COVID hurt the company and exposed what, again, everyone knew. And this is a fundamental problem with comics where people don't want to say the quiet part out loud. The quiet part, but it wasn't that quiet, was Diamond was woefully behind where it needed to be as a company. And you go to any comic convention, everyone is talking about it. You go to any retailer summit, everyone is talking about it. And yet, if somebody, in this case, I'm just talking about me, puts their hand up and goes, yeah, Diamond Comics has problems, then suddenly I get responses. There's a gentleman, and I use that term very loosely, who was somewhat associated with the Image Comics Union, who called this show a hateful white nationalist hate channel because, and not the reason why, because I said Diamond Comics was a broken business. By the way, I defy you to find anything on this channel that screams white nationalist or even whispers white national, whatever the fuck that means. But regardless, when you lash out and you attack people who say there are clear problems, and there are clear problems, then the consequence is those problems don't get fixed. And so then you wake up and it's May of 2023, And, you've got now Marvel gone, DC gone, Image gone. Diamond is fucked. Can we say that out loud now? Like, who's still denying this? They're fucked. I know a couple people at Diamond who are good people. I feel bad for them. Legitimately bad. It's not their fault everything is fucked up over there, but it's fucked. And yes, we should all point and laugh at Eric Stevenson, who, went with full hyperbole about DC Comics is a bunch of sociopaths. Not just, I disagree with their decision, not, well, that's their call. I think it's the wrong one. We're going to do a different thing. But no, they're sociopaths. This is the same bullshit that causes people to say, oh, I like the current X-Men. You don't like it? Well, you must be a racist, bigot, hate-filled transphobe. That must be it. Not just do you have a different opinion, not just you're making a different business decision. No, you're a sociopath. A fucking sociopath. The comedy and the hubris about Image doesn't operate like other publishers. And then, again, less than 3 years later, they're doing the same thing because, of course, they are. There was a world where, Eric Stevenson could have gone out and said, yeah, I understand why DC's doing this. We're going to stick with Diamond because we respect that partnership, but they do need to fix their shit. If they had said that publicly, instead of attacking all the people who said, yeah, Diamond seems like they've got some things that are broken. Instead of attacking them, you could have publicly given them some constructive feedback, and they may have, in fact, quite likely, because in comics, very few people change anything unless it goes public. Like DC Comics was fine to let old Eddie kind of run around and, be a complete shithead until it went public. Nobody had any problems with the Warren Ellis forums being a complete dating site for all intents and purposes for Ellis until it all went public. And suddenly you're like, oh shit, this thing is horrible. Now you assholes knew about all this for years. Not to open up the topic on Ellis, but this is this keeps happening over and over and over again in comics. And now I'll mention this because this is the other bit of big news that was buried today. And this is one of those that other people will have done videos on this, I'm sure. But here is this quote. And this quote is stunning, again, because it's saying the quiet part out loud. We have enjoyed our relationship with Diamond over the decades, and we have made some wonderful friends there. So this decision has been a difficult one, added Eric Larson, Chief Financial Officer at Image Comics, who served as publisher at Image from 2004 to 2008. That's not the striking part. It's this next line. It was not a move that we made lightly, though, and ultimately the change was made because of the benefits to readers, are you ready for it? And retailers, who are our real customers. It's true, of course. Look, it's true. Nobody should run to their fainting couch over that quote because it is true. The retailers are the true customers. They are buying the comics. However, this is one of those things that for years the publishers have denied. No, we don't create programs aimed at the retailers over the end customers. No, we don't do that. No. Yeah, it's a B2B to C business. But we care about the end customers. We care about the fans. We care about the readers. Well, here's Eric Larson, our real customers are the retailers. Well, no shit. You're right. They are. But it's kind of gross when you say it out loud now after 25 years of denying that's the case. And make no mistake about it, they all have. They have denied it over and over and over. They're like, no, that's not the business they're in. It is exactly the business they're in. The publishers sell to the retailers. The retailers turn around and sell it to you, the fan. To the publisher, you, the fan, you don't fucking matter at all if the retailers are still buying the comics. Now, before you get too kind of crazy about all this, keep in mind, retailers are not billionaires who are just buying comics for the fuck of it. I have seen channels, and in fact, big channels with super douchey people on it. And I know this is going to set up like, oh, Perch is talking about blah, 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 blah. Well, I'll spare you one of those names. Wes does not. Wes agrees with me on this topic. He absolutely does. We've talked about it many times. The receipts are still online. You can search on it. But look, retailers are not secret billionaires just buying up, woke comics for ESG funds. First of all, no comic shop is invested in ESGs. ESGs for public companies. It would be comical for a comic shop to be a public company. I mean, that would be just wild. But anyway, nor do they have the credit to go to some of banks that are handling, bigger funds. These guys are dealing with like second mortgages on their homes. That's how comic shops are funded. But anyway, retailers are not just buying up woke comics because, that's the right thing to do, even though they're unsellable. Retailers do their best to buy exactly the amount of comics that you, the customer, are going to come in and buy. Okay, so none of this is that surprising. What is surprising is Eric Larson, good old Eric Larson. Remember Eric Larson quote, "There's nothing possible we can learn from manga and Scholastic." God damn it, Eric Larson. Anyway, Eric Larson, the retailers are our true customers. Again, he's 100% right. No lies detected. But for fuck's sake, people, this like for years, we've been talking about how this business model works, and people denied it. And they've denied that Diamond had problems, and they've denied all this kind of stuff. And then lo and behold, eventually the money pops. And that's what's going on here. There just gets to be no more money. And then it's like, well, fuck it. You're either going to go out of business. We're going to bleed cash. We're going to have our comics not ship on time. We're going to break contracts that we have with our creators unless we change. And so they do. So that's what's happened. So Image has left Diamond. Diamond is fucked. I mean, look, Diamond will become a niche distributor for a little while. And then, but it's all wild. This is just wild shit. Anyway, there you go. That's the news of the day, or yesterday, or whenever the hell I recorded this video. And yeah, there you have it. Let it never be doubted again. Eric Larson, relatively big name, not an important name in comics anymore, but relatively big name, telling you directly what a lot of you have argued and been told is wrong and laughable and bullshit. Retailers are the true customer. Retailers, not you. And I'll be a little exaggerated here. So fuck off, customers. Fuck off. Thanks for listening.